Hey, my friends, have you been getting the eyeballs that you want to get on your post? How do you allow yourself to be seen here on social media? Stop the scroll is one of the things that we talk about all the time. So, have you been stopping people's scroll? Are they checking you out, checking out your stuff, checking out your post? Have they been like wanting to know more of what you're about? All right. Well, today we're going to talk about that. So, we talk about relatability, my friends. So, we're going to dive a little deeper into that today. We started out on Monday. We're going to add some more points to that conversation. So, if you're going to be watching me live, let me know where you're watching from. And if you're going to be watching the replay, let me know where you're watching from as well. Because relatability here in social media is so key in what we're trying to do here, building our business, forming the relationships and having the conversations. So, for those of you who have not met me before, my name is Yvette Guerrero, and I come to you live in this community Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And we talk about mindset on Monday because we want to make sure that we are good. And we know that when we are good, the business is good. So, Wednesday and Friday, we talk more social media strategies and tips and tools that we can use to grow our businesses online and how that actually help us out if we do the right thing. Now, I speak to network marketers, social sellers, home based business owners, direct salespersons, anyone who wants to grow their business online. We talk about the things that are topical right now that are actually working. And so we talk about how we can leverage those. And today is no different. We're going to talk about relatability and actually what you might do to make yourself more relatable with one particular tool we're going to focus on today. One particular tool, and that is your story. How are you representing yourself on social media through your story? All right, my friends, let's dive in. So, hello, wherever you are on this big blue marble. Your story. Your story is unique to you. Nobody can tell your story like you. We have this song. We said, "You can tell it like I tell it." I forgot. You can tell it like I tell it. Let me something. So you can tell your story more than anybody else. I want you to look back, think about your story. How many stories within this story? So many stories within the story. You might say, "Oh, I don't have a story." Yes, you do. Everybody has a story, and all the stories are different. Some might be similar, but they're all different because we are different individuals. We are unique. You're not like me. We all have a different DNA. Oh, and that is like a story in of itself because even if you're born a twin, you both of you have two different DNA. Is that something that is funny, right? How did that happen? All of us, we might look alike. People mistaken me for people all the time. They'd be like, "Oh, did you work at this place?" I'm like, "Oh, you look like that person." So we look like others, but we have different DNA, period. And so is your story. Your story is unique to you, right? So, how might your story be that part of the conversation that makes you more relatable? What are you saying here in social media? Let's talk stories. What do you think your story can do for you? For example, if you want to talk about how you got into social media or how you got into business, whichever your business, whatever your business is, it could be travel, it could be something in the health and wellness industry, it could be insurance, it could be credit counseling, crypto, forex trading, you name it. We have so many of them. And so, whatever it is, how did you actually got started in that particular business? Did you just, no, it began with something else. You had to start thinking. Something had to be happening, right? Something had to be happening to you. Something had to be happening, maybe not working for you. Something was happening. And whatever that something is, you had to give it some thought. Okay, so for example, you were working, excuse me, you were working a job, right? But you were living, it's like you couldn't wait to get the paycheck. You would spend the paycheck before you get the paycheck. You know what I'm saying? We talk about living paycheck to paycheck. And I was listening to the news the other day, and and this is a sidebar, and they say that a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck, and it's getting more prevalent. And so a lot of folks are looking for side hustles, or find ways to make money, or how they can invest, whatever, to make that extra money to supplement the income. So people are thinking, oh, yeah, I cannot afford to live on this paycheck, because I spend the paycheck before I get the paycheck. Huh? A lot of us have been through that. You spend the money before you actually receive the paycheck. So by the time you get the paycheck, it's like your zero balance just reoccur. Huh? So I remember those days, the paycheck to paycheck. You spend the paycheck before you get the paycheck. Oh yeah, or the 3 jobs or the 2 jobs, whatever. And so, and that's not even where it started, right? Because now, okay, so where did it start? Maybe that's how you start to think, but you started to feel something. You started to feel some kind of way. You started to feel, um maybe that you're really shortchanging your family. You're not helping out as much as you want to. So this emotional roller coaster start. You start to ride it, you can sleep at night. So you start to feel some way, some kind of way, and you start to become angry, or anxiety kicks in, or this, you withdrawn, or whatever came across. So from those feelings, and keep going back, and start thinking, an idea popped in your head. You might have seen somebody one day, maybe one of your friend, and they started to tell you what they've been doing. And so if you keep going back, you have to keep going back to find the origination of this story, for your story, how you actually started your network marketing business, or your home based business, or your social selling business, or whatever, your crypto business. Didn't just start when you signed up. No, didn't start there. So how might you actually stop somebody's scroll here on social media through your stories? Because you really need to go back there, like back there, like, so at the time when you actually was in this space, in the space where you had a lot of pain, in the space where you had a lot of desperation, in the space where the hens couldn't meet, the children were, you couldn't figure out how to get them, to school, whether it's the books, or the school supplies, or if that was your thing, or the rent wasn't being paid or on time, and you were like, you backed up, and the landlord start at you, or all kinds of stuff. So we got to go back there. We want to become relatable here in social media. We've got to tell the story, period. But the story does not begin when you sign up to get started. It began way back when you actually, something, the light bulb went on. I was like, oh, I can't be living like this no longer. So what made the light bulb went off? Okay, so let me tell you a little part of my story. When I started out in this business opportunity that I'm in right now. Because, I used to work a job, but I had to walk away from the job because I became ill. And, when in my recovery state, I didn't see myself handling that job. How many of us, we know we can't do it, but we still put ourselves in there, and then we get, meet all kinds of dilemma down the road. So I had to make a conscious decision, be like, oh, I guess that's not for me anymore. I have to find something else that is less um stressful on my body. Because you gotta, if your body ain't right, your functionality is impaired, right? You don't feel well, you can't function well, high performing job, and you be like, oh, you're just not meeting it. You're gonna be stressed out, depressed, and all that kind of stuff, anxious because you're not making the grade, but you still pushing, and you're not making the grade. That makes you, whether you're going in one direction or another direction, it does, either you feel good or you feel bad, or some days you'll be like, man, I can't do this. Okay. So I had to make a conscious decision. I know that that job, I had to give that one up. Then I had to find something else during that time that I could handle. Yeah. Because when you're good, the job is good, right? Yeah, or your whatever you do is good. If you're not happy, everything around you is chaos, right? So I gave that up. So I got something that was less stressful, that I could do from the comfort of my home, and so on and so forth. Why? Because I knew that I had bills to pay. Yeah, so I need income. I didn't fool myself. I had bills to pay. I had car note to pay. Help to supplement the family's budget and all. So I had to make a decision. Oh yeah, I'm gonna walk away, but I still got to figure it out. So here I am. Now another person might have another other kinds of, maybe they got the pink slip, or whatever it is. And so whatever your story is, you've got to tell it. You've got to share it, because how are you going to attract another person to you, or to the opportunity that you are trying to show them? Hey, this is what I did, and this when I was, and now here I am. So you have to make it relatable. Make them see, oh, yeah, she was just like me. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember the days when I could not take vacation. It was all staycation. I remember the days, and even when I got the vacation, I didn't have the money to travel. I remember the days when, that all kind, you know your story, and you've got to tell it. So, relatability on social media, yeah, you can make all the grandiose posts, and take the selfies and do all the things, and no, but people want to know, how did you get here? What make you the person that I need to follow? We've got to tell the story, and nothing is more powerful than your story. Nothing is more powerful than your story. So if I say to you, I remember the days when, if I post a picture and say, here, look at my bank account 10 years ago, or whatever. Can you relate to this? I had all zeros, or, there was a time when I had no money. I was flat broke. You know, People are going to be like, ooh, what's she talking about? Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that sounds like me." Oh, I remember the days when I used to take the metro, or I couldn't afford to buy a car. Now you got 3, 4 cars in the driveway, whatever it is. But at that point, at that point, it's good. But they want to know how you got from the other point to this point. So being relatable here in social media is comes through very, very profound through your stories. Okay, through your stories. Last time we talked about showing how you care, and have concern for other folks, their problems that they have. But relatability is going to find those persons who really, oh yeah, she's a problem solver, or he's a problem solver, this is how we did it. And so I want to stick with this guy, because they know how to solve problems. So that's how you make yourself relatable. Remember, we talked about calling people by names. We talk about going back in your social media posts, and check on the reaction that people give to your post, whether it's beloved, likes, make some comments or whatever. Go back and show gratitude to those persons who took the time out to make a comment on your post. You never know. Start a conversation. Now, there's one caveat that I want to bring to you, and that is, while in your story and you're having the conversations and doing all like that, there's sometimes you get stuck in the friend zone. A lot of people are seeking relationships and these days. And so the relationship and can be just, oh, I just want to be your friend. But if you want to leverage social media to grow your business, you want to be managing being in the friend zone. Now we're going to talk about that on Friday. Managing. How do you manage being in the friend zone, and how do you actually get out of the friend zone? Because I have a lot of friends here on social media. Some people want to do business, some people don't want to do business, some people, so everybody is different. But at the same time, you come to social media with an intention, or use leveraging the strategies and the tools that it offers to grow your business. Now, so getting out of the friend zone is one there's a strategy how you do that, how you transition out of there. And I know a lot of folks are going to want to hear about that. I'll talk about that on Friday. But remember what we talk about today. Become relatable here on social media. Tell your story. So, where are you going to tell your story? You're going to probably do live videos. You're going to be using the story feature. You could do it in post. You could go over there on Instagram and, do your thing, whether it's in real stories or post. And of course, TikTok is over there, but there's so many ways. And the Reels, a short micro content form, you can videotape yourself talking about stuff. And you can use app like this long story, the what is it, long story cutter. Yeah, I think it's long story cutter. Let me check. To cut up your videos. um where is it? Oops, long story cutter. Yes, long story cutter, to cut up your videos, and that way you can post, do a series. And so each video has a theme, or each video speaks to something different. And so in your story, you could have like a month's worth of content just on your story, on maybe one story. What is that going to be? Because people want to know, oh, yeah, she understands. She gets me, because that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, she knows what I'm going through right now. Being relatable here on social media can come through for you and for me through your stories. And so, as we continue on this journey here at Yvette Guerrero Online, we want to build a relationship through storytelling. So I'd encourage you, if you haven't been doing stories, now is some now is the time to start. If you haven't been sharing your stories, we don't have secret service here on social media, because how are you going to get people to stop the scroll and take a look at what you have? You've got to be interested, you've got to be relatable, and you've got to be ready to build a relationship, have the conversation, and then maybe you can step out of the friend zone soon. All right, my friends. So remember to follow me here at Yvette Guerrero Online. And of course, on YouTube, I'm streaming live on YouTube in a YouTube video. You go to my YouTube channel, Yvette Guerrero, of course. And always, I'll drop a link. There's a lot of free resources out there, my friends. Go ahead and make use of them. I'm here, although I got my little scratchy throat. Um, as the weather changes, there goes my voice. And I'm not going to let that stop me. So I'll be over there on TikTok. I'll be on Instagram. I'll be doing some things, because we've got to get the word out there, and everybody is important up in here. So your story is important, because that's your story. You remember I heard this saying, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Yes. So that's your story, and you better be sticking to it because that is how you came from when and landed here. So I see you on Friday when we talk about how can we actually get out of the friend zone. I look forward to seeing you guys hopping on. Take care, everybody. I'll see you on Friday. Bye bye.